Good morning students. Today we will deal with chapter 3rd, Ranga's marriage, written by M.V. Iyer of 11th standard. So as the name indicates that this chapter is about a marriage of Ranga. So what happened in the chapter? This is a very interesting chapter and you will enjoy this story. Ranga, the accountant's son, Ranga was the son of an accountant, is one of the rare breed among the village folk who has been to the city to pursue his studies. He was the first person in his village who went to the city for higher studies. When he returns to his village from the city of Bangalore, the crowd mill around his house to see whether he has changed or not. So when he gathered around, when he came back from city, so many people gathered around his house to know whether he has changed, what change he is having, and what mindset he is having in the city. So they wanted to see this. So let's start the chapter. When you see this title, some of you may ask, Ranga's marriage? Why not Ranganatha Vivaha or Ranganath Vijaya? Well, yes, I know. I could have used some other mouth-filling one like Jagannath Vijay or Girja Kalyan. So here the writer is saying when you see the title, some of you may arise a question that why this Ranga's marriage, why this story is given title Ranga's marriage, why not Rangnatha Viva or Rangnath Vijaya, or I could have given a mouth filling, or we can say that a very fancy or very interesting title like Jagannath Vijaya or Girja Kalyana. But then this is not about Jagannatha's victory or Girja's wedding. So here the narrator is saying my story is not about Jagannath. Jagannath is a mythological character and Girja's wedding. No, it's about our own Ranga's marriage. This story is about a very common man whose name is Ranga and hence no fancy title. That's why I have not used any fancy title to my chapter. It's about our own Ranga's marriage and hence no fancy title. Hoshali is our village. You must have heard of it. So now he is introducing his village, Hoshali. So name of the village is Hoshali, in which this Ranga or the narrator is living. So he is asking, you must have heard it. No, what a pity. So now he is answering also that if you have not heard the name of this village, then what a pity. But it is not your fault. This is no mention of it any geography books. So here the narrator is saying if you doesn't know the name of this village, it's not your fault because this name is not found in the geography books. Those sahibs in England writing in English probably do not know that such a place exists and so make no mention of it. So here narrator is saying that the Englishman, those who were making maps, doesn't know about this place and that's why they didn't mention this in the outlines. Our own people too forget about it. So he is saying that our own people, they also don't know about the name of this village. Our own people, Indian. You know how it is. They are like flock of sheep. One sheep walks into a pit, the rest blindly follow it. So here the narrator is making fun of the blind following peoples. They are saying that our people are like flock of sheep. If one sheep is moving ahead and others are following, and that sheep falls into the pit, in the pit is gadda, the rest blindly follow it. So rest will also follow that sheep. When both the sahibs in England and our own geographers have not referred to it, you cannot expect the poor cartographer to remember to put it on the map, can you? So here the narrator is saying that the people of England at that time, that's English rule was there. So that poor cartographers, a person who is making maps. So this is not their fault. If they forget about this name, then we can't blame the poor cartographers. And so there is not even the shadow of our village on any map. And what a pity, the narrator is saying that there is not even a shadow of our village in the map. Sorry, I started somewhere and then went off in another direction. So the narrator is saying, oh, I'm so sorry. Actually, we started about the Ranga's marriage, this chapter, but I went somewhere else. If the state of Mysore is to Bharatvarsha, what the sweet Karidabu is to festival meal, then Hoshali is to Mysore state what the feeling is the Karida Dabu. Karida Dabu is a name of a sweet. So here the narrator is saying that this Hoshali is in the Mysore, and this is very important and very nice village. What I have said is absolutely true. Believe me, I will not object to your cautioning it, but I still stick to my opinion. So narrator is saying you might not believe that my village is so beautiful, so wonderful. You may not believe, but I will stick to my opinion. I will not change my opinion. I believe that my village is the most beautiful village. I am not the only one who speaks glowingly of Hoshali. He is saying I am not the only one who feels so pride in telling about Hoshali. We have a doctor in our place. Now he will name some person who also feel pride to be a resident of Hoshali village. We have a doctor in our place. His name is Gunda Bhatta. This name is very weird, but this is the name. He agrees with me. He has been quite a few places. No, not England. If anyone asks him whether he has been there, he says, no, Anna, I have left that to you. Running around like a flea-pestered dog is not for me. So he's saying that one more doctor is there in our village who also feels pride, who has visited many few places, but he has not gone to England. And if someone asks him that you have gone to England, he says, no, I left that for you. I left that place for you. It means that he doesn't like English culture or the English people. Running around a flea-pestered dog. Flea-pestered dog, flea-pestered means this is a disease in the dogs. And when they suffer from this, they move from one place to another place because they are not feeling comfortable. So, running like a flea-pestered dog is not for me. I have seen a few places in my time, though, as a matter of fact, he has seen many. So, here the narrator want to say that this Dr. Gunda Bhatta, he has visited many places, but finally he was settled in the village of Hoshali because he also liked this village very much. Another specialty of the village, we have some mango trees in our village. Come visit us and I will give you a raw mango from one of them. So here the narrator is saying that we are having some mango trees there. You could just come and visit and I will give you one raw mango. Don't eat it, just take a bite. And what is the specialty of that mango? That don't eat that mango, just take one bite. The soreness is sure to go straight to your Brahmandhara. This is the yoga name and this is straight to your mind. So those mangoes are so sore that even a single bite will affect you so much. I once took one such fruit home and chutney was made out of it. So he is saying his own experience that once he took this raw mango and they made a chutney out of it. All of us ate it. The cough we suffered from after that, it was when I went for the cough medicine that the doctor told me about the special quality of the fruit. So the whole family suffered from the cough and they have to take medicine. Just as the mango is special, so is everything else around our village. So here the narrator is saying that not only mango, everything is special in my village. We have a creeper growing in the ever so fine water of the village pond. So there is one creeper. So creeper is basically a plant who grows with the help of any sport. So growing in the ever so fine water of the village pond, its flowers are a feast to behold. So flowers are very beautiful of this creeper. Get 2 leaves from the creeper when you go to the pond for your bath. So as people does in the village, when they go for the bath in the morning near the pond, they took the leaves of the creeper and you will not have to worry about not having leaves on which to serve the afternoon meal. It means that the leaves of that creeper is so wide that you need not to worry about the afternoon meal. You can have meal on those leaves. So this is also another specialty. You will say I am rambling. Rambling is exaggerating the things. It is always like that when the subject of our village comes up. So narrator is saying that you might think that I am rambling, I am exaggerating the things. But this happens with me whenever the subject of my village comes. I can't, hide my emotions. I usually speak a lot about my village. But enough. If any one of you would like to visit us, drop me a line. Drop me a line means a letter. So if after listening all these things about the doctor, about the mango and about the creeper, if you want to visit in my village, just drop me a line. I will let you know where Hoshali is. So I will give you exact location and what things are like here. The best way of getting to know a place is to visit it. Don't you agree? So the narrator is saying that if I keep on speaking the specialty of the village, you might get bored. So the best way to know about it is to visit my place. So in these few paragraphs, the narrator is telling about the specialty of Hoshali village in which he is living. So I hope these are clear to you. So now the story begins. The Ranga's marriage, the Ranga's chapter now, it's beginning. What I am going to tell you is something that happened 10 years ago. So the story is very simple. Simple words are used here, students. When you just read the chapter, you will understand it, what the narrator is trying to say. So the story is about 10 years ago. The story is about what happened 10 years ago. We didn't have many people who knew English. So English was a very, less spoken language at that time. Then our village accountant was the first one who had enough courage to send his son to Bangalore to study. So there was one accountant in the Hoshali village, and he was the first one who sent his son to the village for higher studies. It is different now. Now the things have changed. There are many who know English. Now many people know English, but at that time it was a very, very rare thing. During the holidays, you come across them on every street talking in English. Now the things are changed. If you come to my place and during the holidays, you will find many people those are speaking in English. Those days we didn't speak in English, nor did we bring in English words while talking in Kannada. So the narrator is saying the time about which I am speaking, the time of Ranga, the story I am telling, at that time only few people, nobody knows English, and even we never used English in the Kannada. We never mixed these languages, so we usually speak in Kannada language only. What has happened is disgraceful, believe me. So now one incident he's telling, that one thing was happened that was really disgraceful. The other day I was in Rama Rao's house when they bought a bundle of firewood. So कहते one day what happened, I was in the Rama Rao. Rama Rao is the name of one person who is living in Hoshali only. So I went and they bought a bundle of firewoods. So someone is there who was selling the firewoods. Rama Rao's son came out to pay for it. He asked the woman, how much should I give you? 4 paise. 4 paise. So one incident he is telling that if we combine two languages, what will happen? What was the problem? So he is saying, he asked the woman, how much should I give you? 4 paise. So he asked, how much should I pay? He said 4 paise. The boy told her he didn't have any change. So now this boy have used one English word that means change, and asked her to come the next morning. So the boy said, sorry, I don't have change. You please come to the next morning and then I'll give you. The poor woman didn't understand the English word change and went away muttering to herself. So that woman who knew only Kannada, she didn't understood what does this word change means. So she went away from there. I too didn't know. Later when I went to Ranga's house and asked him, I understood what I meant. So later this narrator went to the Ranga's house and he asked him, what does this word mean? And that time he knew. So this was very disgraceful that lady thought that they are not willing to pay for these firewoods. This priceless commodity, the English language, was not so widespread in our village a decade ago. So he is saying that this priceless commodity, English language, was not that much widespread in our area. That was why Ranga's homecoming was a great event. People rushed to the doorstep announcing, the accountant's son has come. The boy who has gone to Bangalore for his studies is here, it seems. And come, Ranga is here, let's go and have a look. So student, what happened when Ranga came back from Bangalore, everybody was going towards his house and they were shouting, come, Ranga is here, let's go and have a look, let's see how he has changed, what change he is having, as he was in the city and he was the first one to go there. Attracted by the crowd, I too went and stood in the courtyard and asked, why have all these people come? There is no performing monkeys here. So attracted by the crowd, the narrator also went. And he asked, he didn't know where everybody is going. And he asked, there is no performing monkey here, then why everybody is coming? A boy, a fellow without any brains. Without any brains means without common sense. So a boy is there said loud enough for everyone to hear. He replied my question, as I said, na, why have all these people come? And he said loud so that everybody can hear. What are you doing here then? He said, then what you are doing here if you don't know? A youngster, immature and without any manners, thinking that all these things were now of the past, I kept quiet. So, by thinking all these things that this is a brainless man, why should I argue with these youngsters are like this only? So I kept quiet. I didn't reply to that boy. Seeing so many people there, Ranga came out with a smile on his face. So now this Ranga is, no less than a celebrity. So he came out from the house and he was having a smile on his face. Had we all gone inside, the place would have turned into what people call the black hole of Calcutta. So the crowd was, many people were there, and if all of them have gone inside, then that house could have turned into the black hole of Calcutta. Now what this black hole of Calcutta, this is a prison during the British government, when during one movement many people were, arrested and kept in this black hole of Calcutta, and it was full of people, very, hard to breathe even. So that much crowd was there. Thank God it didn't. Everyone was surprised to see that Ranga was the same as he had been 6 months ago. So they found no change in Ranga, no change in dressing style, no change in talking. Nothing change was there. When he had first left our village, an old lady who was near him ran her hand over his chest, looked into his eyes, and said that Janeu is still there. He hasn't lost his caste. She went away soon after that. Ranga laughed. So, student, if you have heard about it earlier, during this Brahmin family, people used to wear Janeu, and this is the symbol of their caste. So what they thought, that as he has gone to the city, so he might have changed his culture and might doesn't like to wear Janeu, but she was very happy when she feel that it's still there. Once they realized that Ranga still had the same hands, legs, eyes and nose, the crowd melted away. When they found no change in the Ranga, everybody went to their home. Like a lump of sugar in a child's mouth. Lump of a sugar, a piece of sugar in the child mouth, as it melts, like that only they flew away from there. I continued to stand there. After everyone had gone, I asked, how are you, Rangappa? Is everything well with you? It was only then the Ranga noticed me. He came near me and did a namaskar respectfully, saying, I am all right with your blessings. So when everybody left there, narrator asked, how are you? And he did namaskara to him, and he said, I am all right with your blessings. I must draw your attention to this aspect of Ranga's character. Now the narrator is highlighting, I must draw your attention towards this aspect of Ranga's character. He knew when it would be to the advantage to talk to someone and rightly assessed people's worth. That man, that boy was very kind hearted, and he knew how to give respect to the elders. As for his namaskara to me, he didn't do it like any present day boy, with his head up towards the sun, standing stiff like a pole, without joints, jerking his body as if it was either a wand or a walking stick. So here he's making a fun of the youth there, that he didn't did namaskara as the present day boys are doing. They are standing straight like a pole. They have no feeling in doing that namaskar. May you get, nor did he merely fold his hand, he bent low to touch my feet. Not only he fold his hands, this is about Ranga, he also bent low and touched the feet of narrator. May you get married soon. This is the the narrator said to him, may you get married soon. I said, blessing him. After exchanging a few pleasantries, I left. After having a small conversation, few pleasantries, good words, I left. I also left from there. So this is the first meeting with narrator with Ranga. So what happened later? That afternoon, when I was resting, Ranga came to my house with a couple of oranges in his hand. So in the village, people are very much connected with each other. So in the afternoon only, Ranga came to the narrator's house, and he was having couple of oranges. A generous, considerate fellow. It would be a fine thing to have him marry, settle down, and be of service to society, I thought. And what he thought? The narrator thought, how kind this man is, how soft spoken he is. I think he should get married. For a while, we talked about this and that, then I came to the point. So, for some time, he was talking about other matters, and then he came to the point, Rangappa, when do you plan to get married? So, finally, the narrator asked, when do you plan to get married? I'm not going to get married now, he said. So, very bluntly, very straightforwardly, he said, I'm not going to get married now. Why not? I need to find the right girl. I know an officer who got married only 6 months ago. So, students, here one more thing I want to make it clear, that at that time, parents are supposed to find a bride or groom for the for girl or boy. So now what Rangappa is saying, he is saying that I know an officer who was married 6 months ago. He is about 30 and his wife is 25. I am told. And he says that I am told that he was 30-year-old and his wife is 25-year-old. In the present scenario, this age is very common to get married, but at the time when the child marriage was there, 11-12 year was the age to get married. So this was a huge thing that Ranga is saying. They will be able to talk lovingly to each other. Let's say I married a very young girl. So here he is expressing his views and he is saying, sir, narrator, to narrator he is saying, sir, suppose if I am married to a very young girl, she may take my words spoken in love as words spoken in anger. So in short, he didn't want to get married with an immature girl. Recently, a trop Bangalore stays to play Shakuntala. There is no question of Dushyant falling in love with Shakuntala if she were young, like the present day brides. Is there? So, here we can say that Ranga is not in favor of child marriage. He want to marry a mature girl. What would have happened to Kalidas' plays if one gets married? It should be a girl who is mature. Otherwise, one should remain a bachelor. That's why I am not marrying now. So, this is the opinion of Ranga about marriage. Is there any other reason? Now, narrator is listening everything very politely and he is asking, is there any other reason also? A man should marry a girl he admires. What we have now are arranged marriages. How can one admire a girl with milk stains on one side of her face and wetness on the other? He is making fun of child marriage here. Or so young that she doesn't even know how to bite her fingers. One a neem fruit, the other a bitter gourd. So here the narrator is saying, one a neem fruit, the other a bitter gourd. This I would like to explain in Hindi. एक तो करेला ऊपर से नीम चढ़ा. This is the maxim in Hindi that we use. So marriage is considered as a neem fruit here. Exactly, Ranga said laughing. So Ranga said, yes, exactly. That's what I want to say. I was distressed that the boy who I thought would make a good husband had decided to remain a bachelor. After chatting for a little longer, Ranga left. I made up my mind right then that I would get him married. So there he made his mind that he will make him get married. He will do something. He will arrange his marriage because this man is a perfect, kind-hearted, generous man who could be a good husband.